Welcome back to the shores of the mighty Allegheny River at Franklin, Pennsylvania, where we're getting ready to watch the Rockin' River Festival, the Pennsylvania Stone Skipping Tournament, sponsored by the Franklin Fine Arts Council. We had an opportunity to talk with one of the officials of the stone skipping contest. Randy Seitz explained what's going to be going on today. Randy?
When we're looking at skips, we're looking for them to be low to the ground. We're looking, or low to the water. We're looking for them to be highly visible. We don't like, big distances between skips, and we certainly don't like kerplunkers. Those are stones that just drop into the water after one shot.
So here's our first contestant today. It's Alex Ferry, whose hometown is Warren, Pennsylvania.
He's a young contestant, and he gets his stones from his local playground.
Here's his first throw.
Oh, that's a good one, Jim.
Now let's watch that again. Let's watch that on the replay there, a little bit slower. A lot of plinkers there.
Yeah, and each one of those plinkers is a skip, and it counts. So that's an excellent first toss for a young Mr. Ferry.
Excellent first toss. Looks like we had 35 on that one. Here's Alex Ferry's second throw.
They get 6 chucks. Now that Karen we saw out there, if Alex can hit that, he'll win a cash prize.
Big cash prize, I think, at this contest. Here's his third throw.
Ooh, now that would be a clunker.
That would be a clunker. Just
that's
one, two, actually just one skip there for Alex Perry, youngest contestant in the contest today.
You know what amazes me as I see this is that rocks skip instead of just sink. You wouldn't think about it, but there they are. Look at that.
It has a lot to do with the aerodynamics of the rock. And of course they look at the rocks before the contest, the officials do, to make sure that no thrower has done anything to alter the rock. They're all natural rocks.
You can't add a drone to it or anything like that and make it fly.
There you go.
They frown on that.
Check number 6.
Earlier today, before the contest, we had an opportunity to talk with the world record holder, Kurt Mountain Man Steiner, about his thoughts on the game.
Today, I do not predict because of two things. The talent that's come up now is starting to overpower me, for example, and the weather has never been this windy. So there is a random element here where you have the best guys in the world throwing on a bit of a crapshoot water, but not quite, so I expect to see a few good shots on the day, and that'll be the winner.
And here's Kurt Steiner from Emporium, Pennsylvania, nearby. He is the world record holder with 88 skips, Jim.
88 skips. And he has this interesting wind up there. It almost reminds me of a Statue of Liberty type stand. Whoa, look at that.
That's a big first toss. Nice chuck. You don't often say that unless a guy's name is Chuck.
On that one, he got 42 skips.
Well, that's a big number. You know, that can be intimidating to the guys who haven't thrown yet. You know, get a nice 40 is a rare thing, Jim.
To come up with that many. Here's Steiner's second toss. Lots of concentration. Well, that one looked like it wasn't going to go far. There were some of the longer skips, but then it got down into the plinkers, and they tell me that that one ended up with 31
Wow.
skips for his second. So his first two, a 42 and a 31 for Steiner.
In this contest, the most skips is going to win the trophy.
Now, it's most individual skips, not a cumulative number of skips.
Correct.
So his next skip, came very close to that Karen there, and here's the replay. I'm glad there are judges who can count faster than I. He got 35 on this one, according to the judges. 35.
You know what would be a good judge of this is a fish. They'd have the right view, the right angle, I would think. But it's hard to train them, I guess.
What kind of fish do you think they have here? Is this walleye country in Franklin, Pennsylvania?
Yeah, I'm just not sure. I order from the restaurant.
And there goes Steiner's next. Boy, what an exciting day. I feel the action here. The crowd's all around watching these world-class athletes skip stones. There's another one. Looks like it's getting
close,
pretty
close. Oh,
not quite.
boy, you can cut the excitement with a really dull knife if you'd like. It's palpable here.
I think on that one, it looks like a 44 is what the judges are saying. A 44. 44 skips.
That's wonderful work.
And here's his last.
You know, participating in winning events like this can make a difference in a job interview, I'll bet. Depending what you're interviewing for, I expect. But still, it's nice to talk about.
I think if you were maybe serving dinner at a buffet, this would be good because you could just throw the food out to people. That was a 41. That was a 41 there for Steiner. Next contestant is Dave Omer of Erie, Pennsylvania.
And he gets his rocks from Lake Erie and brings them down here.
Now, they call him the Spider-Man. You'll notice the different stance that he has there.
Yeah, it is like Spidey making a web.
Gets very close to the water.
That's nice.
That one out. Let's look at that slow motion on that one for Spider-Man Omer. First throw is 36.
That's a nice first start. Very nice.
36. Now they have to get, there's an amateur and a pro level, and these are all pro throwers. You have to be able to show that you can skip at least 25 to get into the pros from the amateurs. So there's Omer's second toss.
There's also a difference, Jim, in the registration fees. The amateurs are $1, while the pros pay $10.
Whole dollars.
$10, yeah. This is a rich man's game. You can't just come in here with no folding money. You have to
Omer's second throw was 43.
Wow, big number.
And here's the slow motion of the second.
It just makes you think how amazing it is for Mountain Man's 88 skips, because we're seeing some wonderful skipping here.
This one was, that was a 43. And here comes, this one's going to go right off into the water. And
there's a Trevor Rogers curveball there.
Not much on that one. That one got a 1. Now he'll come up with his fifth throw here. Putting everything he has into this one.
You'll notice that the rocks are not round; they're flat, made basically for skipping. Although they're not made, they're formed by nature.
This one looks like it could be up there with one of the top throws of the day. It's out way past that cairn.
Still skipping. Look at that. Look at that go.
And the judges say that one's going to come in at 50. 50.
Wow.
50 skips.
He's going to have to retrieve. You want to retrieve that rock if you can, I would think. That's excellent.
You'd want to, wouldn't you? Here's his last throw from Omer.
I wonder they don't cut their fingers on the sharp edges of these rocks.
Concentration. It's just intense. Here he goes, his Spider-Man stance.
He looks like famed audiobook narrator Joel Frumkin to me.
He fires away there.
Near the cairn?
Close, but no cigar. That was a, let's see if I can count how many there. Nope. There's 4, and then a whole bunch more. It
That's
looks
a new
like 25, they tell me, on that one. So far, Omer has 50. Now we have Andy Severance. Andy Severance.
And he gets his stones from a nearby river as well. And let's see what he's got for us here. Very casual approach.
They all stand in some ways right around that rock that's sticking up there, almost like a, oh boy, That throw, I'm sure he was pretty disappointed with that throw. That only had 2 skips.
He may be a little intimidated by that 50, because
You'd
that's a
think.
big number. But the water's perfect today for skipping.
Looks like it's actually calmed down a little bit since we started. And there's the second throw for Severin. Let's see that one in slow motion. Just a straight trajectory,
Really,
and
yeah.
that finally takes a little bit of a curve. And the judges are telling us that he had a 28 on that one. Here comes the third toss.
That seemed to die in the water there. Not that wonderful. Let's see what's next for him.
That third toss was a 14.
Yeah, it's a hop, skip, and a plunk.
Kind of turned in a different direction than the others. Yeah, here comes the fourth skip from Severin. Ooh, that was a good one. Looks like the water's getting a little rougher right now.
Yeah, right over there. Well, you know, there's a lot of rocks creating waves there probably. You know, after a while, it's going to back up on you.
Official count for Severin's fourth toss was 42.
Excellent numbers. Getting over 40 is really good, Jim.
I think for me, getting over 10 would be great. I'd be happy with that.
Me not falling in the water when I got near it would be wonderful.
The fifth toss for Severin. A couple of big jumps, and then plink, 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 and we end up with 20 on that one. 20 people, 20 skips. And now here's the last one. Here's the last one for Mr. Severins.
He's looking to beat 50. He's not going to do with that one.
Oh, that one
No,
knocked out a couple of fish.
That was looking for sand, I think.
There we go. Well, that got an official score of 1 on that one. Looks a little bit
Oh, he looks a little disappointed.
Here's Alan Passmore.
Alan Gasman Passmore.
Now, where do you think that nickname came from?
I hesitate to guess, but, you know, I'm not sure what... He's from Arkansas. So maybe something in the Arkansas food or country area, I'm not sure.
So for the gas man, just a very simple pull back and release. Nothing fancy in his approach.
Yeah, nothing fancy in the result.
His first toss, the gas man ends up with 20. Here's the second one.
Nice hop there, but
took a really nasty turn and went straight into the water. They'll give him a 2 on that one.
Yeah, that stone did a belly flop.
That's
a pity pat, we call that.
Yep. There goes his next one. That one took a real fast right turn.
Yeah, it looks like the lake rejected it.
Passmore gets an 8 on his third throw. And coming up now on the fourth throw for the gas man from Arkansas. Now there he's got some distance on that one. Score a 29. Let's watch that one again in slow motion.
Best throw so far, Jim.
Count them all.
29 for Alan Passmore.
That's a 29 for that. Two skips left now for Passmore.
Oh, some big hops there, but not too many skips.
Yeah, that one just took another left-handed dive right into the water, and they'll give him a 2 on that one. So gas man from Passmore, or gas man from Arkansas, comes up with his last throw straight toward the cairn. Right on past it. Right on past that one. And let's watch that one again in slow motion. He was ready to collect his earnings there. Boy, yeah.
Look at that. Got to be disappointed.
Well, he had a 27. 27 on that one. Now we bring up next contestant we're going to watch today is Greg Winger from right here in Franklin, PA. Hometown boy.
And he gets his rocks from Lake Erie. Yeah. He's ready for action. He's dressed to just jump in that water.
Well, I wonder if maybe that, there's his first throw. Let's see. He's going to get on that one. It looks like a 3 on that one.
No home field advantage so far.
I'm wondering if maybe the sleeveless T-shirt there gives him a little bit more room to move his arms around.
It certainly gives him an interesting tan line.
That one scored a 14. So on his first throw, second throw, he gets a 14.
Whoa, here we go.
Now
We're in the water.
Now he's going to try something a little bit different. He's going to stand right down in the water.
There are no rules against this. He could wander out into the middle of the lake, but it's higher than him, so it'll be tough to throw.
Well, it seems like that really improved his performance. On that third throw there, he pulled up a 38.
Yeah, you want to show the water that it's your friend, you're not afraid of it, you want to work with it and in it if necessary.
Well, so much for that theory. That one turned. That one took a turn for the worse. 12 on that one, as we see there on the replay.
No one's more surprised about that than he is. That's a.
So now he's back on dry land.
Right. He probably forgot he was wearing shoes.
Spins left and right, and looks like we have a 30 for the man from Franklin, Greg Winger.
The mechanic, we call him. I assume because he might be a mechanic.
Could be.
Yeah.
Good guess. I'm just amazed at the way these rocks just change direction, almost like some sort of a bird in flight. So on his sixth throw, it looks like Greg, the mechanic Winger, pulled an 18. And so far, our leaders are David, the Spider-Man Omer, at 50. All right, our next contestant is Enzo Ferrari from Baltimore, Maryland.
And he likes to get his throwing stones recycling from other competitors, which makes you wonder, does he dive in and collect the rocks, and how do you know which ones are there or which ones were just thrown?
It looks like Ferrari is the first one to actually stand on that marker stone there.
Yeah, he's using it as a fulcrum, if you will, and trying to get a little more propulsion.
So there's Ferrari's first. That was, let's watch that one again in slow motion. Judges tell me that was a 17, and 17 on that one. Here's Ferrari's second toss.
And there's a youngster just starting in the business behind him.
Wonder if those kids go out after the competition and recollect the rocks from the bottom of the river.
That may be where he gets them. He sends small children into the water in case there's Loch Ness monsters in the water. No sense risking yourself.
Takes a 20 on that one. Second throw was a 20. Now he's gotten down off of that rock and he's just standing next to it.
Big bounce style from Enzo.
Here's the replay. Big jumps.
Yeah, nice, good bounces, but you don't want the big jumps, Jim. You want those small, repetitive ones. That gives you the numbers.
And that added up to 18 for Enzo on that one. Here's Fast Man's fourth throw. That one took a turn over to the right side. He's been going both ways, left and right.
Number 4 for Enzo, 19.
And on that fourth throw, he gets 19. Nowhere near the top 3 so far. Checking that rock out, making sure he's got the right side. Here's the next throw. Here's his fifth throw.
Also veering to the right.
That one's going to pull, let's see here, let's see what the judges say.
27, protect number
21, maybe?
Well, I would have given it 21, but the judges say 27. So we'll go with the judges. And here's the last throw for Ferrari.
Ooh, careful. Oh, that hits the cairn.
He hit the
Enzo on his last throw. He gets the cash pool prize, and that could be a nice pile of cash for Enzo. This is what a lot of the players are into. Although that thing would have kept going past the cairn, here's his cash prize.
Well, Johnny, you told me it costs $10 to enter this contest, and Enzo Ferrari just made back that $10 plus $1. His cash
that
prize
is
was
something.
$11. Welcome back to the shores of the Allegheny River here in Franklin, Pennsylvania, and we have your leaderboard. In third place with a score of 42 skips, Andy Severance. In second place with a score of 44, it's Kurt Mountain Man Steiner. And in first place today with a throw of 50 skips, it's David Spider-Man Omer.
And you know, Enzo Ferrari, who hit the cairn and got the money shot, he might have been in line to win it had that rock not hit the cairn. Who knows how many skips it would have made.
Bittersweet there.
Well, let's hear from the winner.
I always come hoping to take first place. And from the looks of things, I talked to a couple other guys, and they felt like it was the best throw of the day, so I guess I can be happy with that. I mean, that's kind of how the judges, they're usually pretty accurate about the top throws, but when you talk to the guys after the fact, sometimes you can finish first and you kind of ask around and people will give you the honest take on it, and they'll be like, well, it was pretty good, but Kurt's was just as good. Or, you know, sometimes they're really honest with you and they're like, I don't know, man. This time I talked to a couple guys afterwards and they felt like it was the best throw of the day, so that's good enough for me.
So there's your winner today, Omer. David Spider-Man Omer. Final thoughts, Johnny?
Well, yeah, I just want to say this is a wonderful day and a great day to toss your rocks.
Well, for Johnny Big Slice Heller, I'm Jim Siebert, the voice of stone skipping on ESPN. Thanks for watching the Stone Skipping Contest of 2020.